Tomorrow at dawn, I'll fly the plane over the mountain and Shola will jump out. You land with the parachute, take control of the lift, and then you fire this flare. It's a signal to me, by which time I'll have landed the plane, made my way over to the bottom of the lift while Polly provides cover.
Sir, I could do anything for you, but I cannot jump out of an aeroplane. And it's not that I wouldn't try. It's that I know I'd let you down.
Yes, well, I appreciate your fear of heights, but I am the only one who can fly, so...
But you wouldn't have to land the plane. You just have to land yourself.
Well, it would be bad form to ask a man to do something that I wouldn't do myself. All right, Shola. Get ready for my signal. We go at dawn.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.
I like the cut of his GIF.
I'm sure they were like, it's coming from Rasputin's room. Who knows what's going on in there? He's in there licking thighs.
I'm going to protect you, my son, but go first have sex with this crazy old man. Hello, and thank you for listening to Cheapseat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good.
Well, the greater good, old chap.
Thanks, old boy. This is episode something, 300 and... Oh, I think I got it wrong. 386. 386. And tonight we're talking about The Kingsman. The Kingsman, not The Kingsman. But this is The Kingsman. This is the prequel to those two fine films directed by the same dude.
I feel bad I haven't seen the second one yet, but I will one of these days.
Don't feel too bad. You're fine.
Okay. I tried looking for it, but I can't find it.
That's okay. Again, you're okay. It's not my favorite. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. I am Sean Allred.
And I really tried to look on HBO Max and search the search thing, but I just couldn't. I couldn't. You would think they'd have all these movies together, but it's just The Kingsman on HBO Max.
Sure, I get that.
Yeah.
I can see how that would be frustrating.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't want things to be frustrating for people.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. I am Sean Allred.
And it's not on Netflix either. I mean, we just keep looking, and it's just nowhere to be streamed.
Oh my gosh! Wow, it's been a minute since you tried to sabotage the show this good. It's great.
Oh, I feel better now. I'm awake. I'm awake. I can do this thing.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who I am. No one cares. Joining us tonight is Andrew. Uses a goat as a step stool. Jimison.
No, that's not all I use it for. I also got tired of cutting my own grass.
Sure. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Oh my God. Just kidding.
Oh.
We just
market.
We had a pre-show meeting without Sean, and we decided we're just going to
really give him some work tonight.
Really give him some work tonight.
Yeah,
because we know he has nothing else to do.
Yeah,
nothing at all.
I have nothing but time. Wow, this is amazing. Okay. Oh my goodness. Also, the other person laughing there, being an ass, is Sam. Can we go hang out in that cheese shack, Vector?
You would think, and the way that cheese was exploding, it looked like Velveeta. That's the only bad thing about it, right? I bet you it was good cheese until it started getting swissed up out there and riddled with holes.
That's where it comes from.
So
that's where
that's how they make it. They
yeah,
they just shoot at it at the wheels. Yeah.
With
so Sean.
Yeah.
Sean, I want you to come over here and look over this edge for me.
Okay.
And Andrew has handed me his personal goat, and That personal goat is just going to stand right behind you here, buddy.
I 100% thought
And
that
lick
the
your
goat,
face like hanging there.
Yeah, I 100% thought the goat was just gonna bump him off. Like instead of you know what I'm saying, like instead of him having his line where he has the moment, I thought it was just gonna be kind of, he's standing there and he's saying whatever he's saying over him. He's about to shoot him, and then the goat just just headbutts him off. I think that would have been funnier. It wouldn't have been as.
I think it would have been better than stabbing in the leg. I really do.
Yeah.
I think it would have been better that way.
It would have been funnier.
And then the goat just walks off nonchalantly like nothing happened.
Yeah. Because he does establish earlier in the movie that he headbutts too much. That's why he cut off part of his horn thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, probably regretting his decision to join us tonight, but making his Cheapseat Reviews debut is Justin. Had his podcast blessed by a crazed monk from the Wheel of Horror podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, man.
Welcome to the show, Justin.
Yeah.
I'm just over here listening to the banter.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's kind of always like this. It's like as if we don't care that we have a guest. We're just going to be who we are, and that's just the way it is, I guess.
Yep. We'll just have you join right in and make fun of Sean with us. So that's generally what we have the guests do. So
yeah, that's fine. So Justin with the Wheel of Horror podcast, I was on your show not that long ago when we did the movie The Protege. And if you don't know what that
isn't that the one with Hugh Jackman and not Christopher Bain.
Sure.
Christian Bale.
Might as well.
Christian Bale.
Don't help him, Andrew. Never help him when he does this.
I'm sorry. I'll eat my Twizzler.
Yeah, just eat your Twizzler. Because Sam was just being Sam at this point. No.
I honestly.
Yeah, you've never heard of The Protege, and frankly, until Justin presented it to me, I'd never heard of it either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's with Samuel Jackson and Maggie Q. It's a spy movie, and Michael Keaton.
Oh, okay. So no, I would.
But it's a good cast.
So it's not Magicians.
No,
you're thinking of the other one with Christian Bale.
You're thinking
of
Prestige.
Prestige. Yeah.
Oh wait, sorry, I helped.
Okay.
It's just the names of people you shouldn't help him with. It's way more fun listening to him flounder around looking for Danny DeVito or somebody else.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
so was it good?
It's pretty good.
I mean, like it's in the same kind of. I would put it in the same tier as the American Assassin movie that we did that also had Michael Keaton.
Okay. Yeah.
Like if you liked that, then you would like the other, like The Protege.
Okay.
It's the same thing. Like it's a way better version of that Assassin movie we watched with Jessica Chastain.
Okay.
Like that movie
Ava.
was, Ava. Yeah, that movie was bad. This movie was actually a lot of fun. Also, I think because I can kind of buy Maggie Q as being an assassin lady, then Jessica, So anyway, I also
who was in the Kingsmen though?
Who?
Samuel L. Jackson.
He was in the Kingsman. You're right, but that's not this movie.
What?
Anyway, this is the Kingsman, 2021's right? The Kingsman.
Yes.
Just came out, and it's the prequel. I think I've said that, or maybe not. It's the prequel to the Kingsman movies, directed by Matthew Vaughn, I think.
Yes.
Who also directed the new X-Men, some of the new X-Men. He directed First Class. I don't know if he directed any of the other ones. Do you know, Justin? I don't know. I can't remember.
I do not know.
Yeah.
He did do X-Men second period block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and then Recess is the short they did after that.
So he just did First Class, which is why I like that one, because that's the only one of those that I like. I'm just going to be honest. I didn't really like the other ones. But he also directed a movie that we've done for the podcast that I think we all liked, Stardust.
Did he really?
I didn't know that until just this moment. He did Stardust. He went from Stardust to Kick-Ass to First Class to the two Kingsman movie.
See, I like this guy. I like his manic. Interesting. Yeah, I like kind of the energy he puts in these things.
Yeah,
that's good stuff. Okay.
And then
I might have to seek his stuff out.
Well, that's it. I've told you his whole IMDb credit listing.
Well, I know, but is there a movie in there you don't like?
No. Well,
right?
No. Let's see.
So
he
there you
did.
go.
Yeah, his very first thing was something called Layer Cake, which looks like it's. Oh, Layer Cake. It's got
Daniel Craig
and Sienna Miller, Michael Gambone. Oh, this looks right up our alley. Tom Hardy. How have I never seen this?
Is it like an English thing?
Colm Meaney is in it too. Let's see. A successful cocaine dealer gets 2 tough assignments from his boss on the eve of his planned early retirement. Oh,
I thought that was a reality show for the Food Network.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm in. If I can find this streaming, I'm going to add it to the list because I'm in. Sienna Miller. She's very.
Who's she?
She was remember in Stardust, the girl that Tristan goes and does the stuff for to get the star.
Oh, okay, the blonde.
Yeah, at the beginning, not the star, not Claire Danes,
Mhm.
but the other lady. That's her.
Not the one without the eyebrows.
That's her. Correct.
Okay.
Anyway, my goodness. So yeah, he's great, Matthew Vaughn. I like him. I like his stuff, and
I like the cut of his GIF.
His what?
His GIF.
The peanut butter.
He has a cut of. He's
call
a
it cut of his jib. There you go. Jib is what I'm trying to think of.
No, Jeff is way better. I think.
Yeah.
You know, cut of your Jeff. I like that. That's good. My goodness, I don't know what to do at this point. Sam has just bumfuzzled me at this point.
Shall we find out what this movie's about?
Yeah, please tell the fine listeners what this movie is.
In the early years of the 20th century, the Kingsman Agency is formed to stand against a cabal plotting a war to wipe out millions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of that works. I like it.
Do we know exactly why they were trying to kill millions? Did they say that? I couldn't quite decipher exactly why they wanted it.
I thought it simply was that the whole purpose was so that eventually Germany would take out England because the shepherd hated England.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
Okay.
Right?
All right. So it wasn't like some weird, I'm going to wipe out 50% of the population I'm okay. I get it.
I should have asked the question. I know this is a pretty new movie. Had any of us seen this before we watched it for this episode?
Yes.
Not me.
Nope.
Okay.
You had seen it, Andrew?
But when I say I'd seen it, I watched it like 3 days before I found out we were doing it for the podcast. And so I watched it again for the show.
Nice.
So.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, I guess I should say programming note. We did change this movie. So Justin, we owe Justin a debt of gratitude, okay?
Yes.
So what happened was that I was contacted by a movie studio and they said, "Hey, would you like to screen our movie?" And I said, "Sure, we're a movie review podcast. We've done that before. It sounds lovely. I would love to screen your movie." And then Justin watched it and I think got a little confused on the dates. And so you watched it like a month ago, right?
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was 2/9. So.
Oh no.
So he was well ahead of schedule. And then I asked him, I'm like, I think it was about 2 weeks ago. I said, "Hey, did you like it?" You said, "No." And I said, "Was it good?" And you said, "No." "Do you want to change the movie?" "Sure." Right? I mean, that was kind of what it happened, right? I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough with indie films sometimes. It's kind of like hit or miss.
Yeah.
Well, don't you always? I always feel really bad about getting upset. Not upset at indie films, but not giving them good reviews because they're just little. They're like little children. You can't really make fun of them because there's so much passion that goes into them.
Yeah.
I don't
by
feel bad
everybody
at all,
involved.
though.
No.
I think you can make a good film or you don't.
Savage.
Right?
Jeez.
I mean, I mean, really.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Regardless, we've seen very low budget films that were good.
Yeah.
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 That's true.
So
I mean,
I think you got it or you don't.
I mean, Juno is considered a low budget film, but it also has, a bunch of A-listers in it. But I mean, that Russian film that we did wasn't bad. We all kind of liked it for what it was. It wasn't great.
There was some lost in translation stuff going on.
Yeah, yeah. And there was some other things that worked all right, but we didn't dislike that movie all that much, and I thought we were pretty fair. And as a result, we have like 5 downloads in Russia. So,
is that a good thing now, though?
Not right now. It's not. But as we record this podcast in March of 2022, for those who are listening in the future,
who have dug into the radioactive soil and found this canister of digital files, 300 years from now, this is what we are right now.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know how to bring us back from that depressing thing, but I will try my best. Okay, so Sam, do your 5-word review. Gosh.
Yes, I will do that as soon as I pull it up.
Oh,
I've got one that is a 6-word, one is a 4-word, so I averaged out here. The first one is story is literally up and down. And then my other one is so much bloody fun. I love these movies. I have so much fun with the Kingsman movies. And I've only seen one other one. So I'm hoping the second one is just as fun. And I thought, even though this was, I don't want to say not as clever as the first Kingsman, I still had a really good time with it. And I wish... I don't know. I wish it was a little more spy-y, and that's a hard word to put in there. But I was looking a little bit more towards what and how they were going to build the Kingsmen into. Right? We started out with kind of the original folks here, but it didn't feel like they were either. I don't want to say doing much, but it just didn't have that Secret Service spy aspect that I liked of the other movie. But holy cow, is it Vaughn, right? Is the director?
Yeah.
Holy cow, does he give you some visuals and make your stomach just go up and down with these things and give you twists and turns. I thought the bad guy reveal was kind of dumb. And I thought it was when they finally revealed who it was, or who the shepherd was, I kind of shrugged my shoulders. There wasn't that much. Why'd they even shield his face? It just seemed like it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm kind of rambling tonight. I don't know why I'm rambling, but I don't know. I had a really good time in parts of this thing. Yeah, I'm not drinking either tonight for some reason. Maybe that's the problem. But yeah, it was okay. It was okay. It was fun.
All right. No, nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I do pick up what you're laying down though about it's less of a spy film than the other Kingsman movies. And I think that's because like those movies are spy films. Like that's what they are.
Yes.
They are spy films. Whereas this one kind of feels more like a World War I movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's a war movie that has some spy things in it, but I think if you, because so other people that had seen it on Twitter when I posted that we were doing this movie, and I was like, hey, we're doing this movie. And some other people going, oh, hey, you're going to have a good time with it or whatever. And I said, is it like the other ones? And everyone said no, that it's not like the other ones. And so that kind of led me to go, okay, well then I'll adjust my, I guess, expectations. I'll just reset the needle back to 0 because we know what those ones are. And I think it kind of makes sense why it would be different because they don't have
their stuff yet.
Yeah, they don't have 100 years of tradition, of training and whatever. It's just, the cut of their GIF to figure things out.
But there is still that really quirky action that I think he brings to the.
Yeah. And Sam's making a really great point. I'm sure once he realizes that he's been cut off, he'll come back in just a second.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
We can now, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really trying to destroy this thing tonight, apparently.
Yeah.
But the quirky action, the fighting style of Rasputin, and the final 30 minutes of this film with the plane and everything going up on the mountain is just fantastic. I love that style, and I want more of it.
Good. Yeah. All right. Justin, what you got?
I thought pretty long on this one, and I picked prequels deserve a chance too, because I purposely didn't watch this film. Not that I didn't want to see it; it just wasn't, super high up on my list, because I was like, it doesn't have that main kid in it. It doesn't have the guy who played his kind of like his trainer. I think it was either Arthur or Merlin. And I was like, I don't know about it. It just didn't like hit me. And I'm happy I watched it because it was really entertaining. I wish they did a couple things differently. One of the things they could have done to shift it back towards a spy movie was, I wish instead of killing the main guy's son, like he came back from his mission in Russia and they kind of trained him and formed it together, because the female in it, I forgot what other movie she's in, she had almost no role.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just kind of seemed like they had some opportunities that they missed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gemma Adderton, Gemma something like that. She's in Arterton. Ooh, I said that wrong. Arterton. She's in the second of the James Bond, the new James Bond quadrilogy, whatever that is. She was in. I think she was in Prince of Persia.
Yep.
Yeah. Clash of Titans. She's pretty. Not to be mean. She doesn't have to do a lot. Most of the stuff that she's in, we're not asking her to do. Ooh, Sam, she's in the Watership Down miniseries.
Oh dear Lord! As a voice, I'm guessing.
Well, yeah, they have to be, but
yeah. I mean, they have a hard time training rabbits to speak.
She's Gretel in Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters.
That was with Matt Damon.
Oh yeah.
No, that was not Matt Damon. It was Hawkeye.
It was Jeremy. I forgot his last name.
Jeremy Renner.
Yeah. This movie had a lot of big people. I'm gonna mess his name up, but Rhines Ifans, the guy who played Rasputin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Digimon Hansu.
Yeah, Digimon Hansu. He's great.
Yes.
Yeah, I like.
And then even Charles Dance, who played Kitchener. He's in a ton of movies. If you guys recognize him.
I was really
Game of
hoping.
Thrones.
I was really hoping he would get killed on a toilet. I'm just saying.
You would.
I remember him from the very first movie I saw him in was The Last Action Hero.
Last Action Hero. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only movie I really like. Every time I see him, that's what I think of.
Yeah. Benedict Arnold with the eyeball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's great in that. In an otherwise bad movie, he's really good in it. Yeah, no, I mean, again, this is a good cast. This is a solid cast. Ralph Fiennes is our lead, and I like him a lot in this. I think he's really good. And you're not wrong though about Gemma Polly's character. She only has like two things, right? She just acts as a foil, and then at the end she gets to be a sniper lady, which is cool.
Yeah,
but
yeah, she's a gun expert basically.
Yeah,
he's the Digimon guy is knife and martial arts. She's more of a marksman with the guns.
All I can think of is the little game, Digimon. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He was the knife guy. He was Mr. Knife Guy,
Mm-hmm.
and
so you could kind of see. I want a sequel to this one, where they really start bringing people in, and they they're starting this Secret Service type of thing. That's what I really want to see.
So there's a stinger in this movie. There's a mid-credits tease that would suggest that they plan on doing that.
I hope so. Do we know if this thing made any money?
I'll find out. I'll find out.
Because it unfortunately was released in probably the worst year possible for movies,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're
other
right.
than 1958.
And it was either a mixed release with theater and video, or maybe it went straight to streaming. I don't know, but it was out there pretty quickly on streaming.
It made worldwide. It made 125 million.
Wow.
So,
That's not too bad. I mean, that's not good in terms of.
Yeah, but in
What they're hoping.
pandemic year,
Avengers good, but Marvel good. But
well,
yeah,
but nothing's touching that. But yeah, I mean, 125 million. That's good job. I think that's enough to say, let's give Matt another chance to do this thing. I'm with you. If they want to do a sequel to this and have it during World War II, I'm down for that. Have them going on secret missions. Have them, they're part of the plot to try to blow up Hitler in the Valkyrie. Yeah. I like that. I do like that. So I just
and I don't know if you noticed, but the guy who was taking the family photo of the Tsar Nicholas and his family, that was the same guy.
The same
guy. The guy that shot them is Hitler.
That's the same actor?
Was it really?
Really?
Yeah. If you go back and look at that scene, and then you look at that closing teaser, it's the same guy.
Really?
They recycled, or you think that was on purpose?
No, I think it's on purpose. I think that it's supposed to be Hitler that kills. They're saying, that it's Hitler that killed.
That killed the Romanovs.
The Romanovs, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, take a little bit of liberty with the history there.
With the storyline. Yeah, we're going Quentin Tarantino, Inglourious Bastards on this, basically.
That's so weird. Okay. Sure. That seems weird to me. I can't even find him credited. The Hitler dude even credited, but that's okay. All right, Andrew, what was your 5-word review, or did you already do it?
Well, I got a couple.
Okay, as you usually do.
I have not quite as much fun as the first film, but still enjoyable, and I know that's more than 5. A thigh-licking good time. Was anybody else disturbed?
Yeah.
By that scene?
Yeah, honestly, that scene, it was just not necessary. It was so weird.
No, it was weird, and it was uncomfortable, and I think what made it more uncomfortable for me to watch was thinking how much food was in his beard, and how much was still left in his mouth as he started doing that. And I was like, oh, there's food particles falling on his leg. Not the fact that he was licking this guy's leg. It just,
oh dear Lord,
the fact that there was food falling out of his mouth. It is a little long, but
that's what
since when does length bother us guys? It gets a little long-winded, but I feel like there's lots of exposition, but I don't think.
What could they have cut out
for the payoff?
Right? Yeah, I was going to say,
I think it's
there's nothing they could have really cut out that would have, that wouldn't have taken away from the story. They needed everything there, I think, to make it work. And
and some of the poo-pooers of this film, comparing it to the first one, they looking at some of their reviews, they said, well, this is not like the first one because it's more dialogue and it's more story. Well, yeah, and I'm okay with that. And I think, like you, Sean, I think it was you that said you just kind of hit reset when you watch this one. And I think if you were to watch this one, if this is the first one we saw, and then we had the Kingsman, the Secret Service, the original, the first one, I think it would be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like knowing about the original one, the first installment, because it gives me some idea of where they're going. But I think if we got this one first, it would still work.
Yeah, I think so. I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, I guess what people honestly, I think what people are looking for, and Justin, I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this, is that I think people were wanting another 6.5 minute scene where Colin Firth is tearing apart that racist church.
Yeah.
Like I think.
I mean, this was the lowest rated of the three, which is expectable in a prequel movie, and it's tough because anytime I feel like we've mentioned this on my podcast, anytime you make a sequel or a prequel, it's always going to be compared to the first one. And typically it doesn't live up to the first one's standards. And it's just the way it is because people fall in love with that first one and they want to see it again. But it's okay to add something different.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah, totally agree. And I also think it's okay to change almost the tone of the film. I mean, like I said, those other two are spy films. And you said this is lowest rated of the three. I would put this one above The Golden Circle. I think.
Really?
I would too. Definitely.
I think The Golden Circle just went too far. They leaned too far to the weird. And you know what I'm saying? I mean,
was that the second one?
Yes, the Golden. Yeah.
That's the one with Channing Tatum and
Okay. Yeah.
and the American Secret Service and all
Was
that.
the church scene, was that the first one?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I thought the first one was incredible.
The first one
Absolutely.
is. The
Agree.
first one was so good and ridiculous and awesome, and it's just one of those comfort movies. When it's on FX and I'm going to bed, I have to watch the rest of it. I just do.
Yeah.
You're like, well, guess I'm staying up.
Yeah.
It takes your expectations and flips it on its head in terms of these spy Secret Service type movies. And I love that. And, even in this one, when his son is carrying the guy across the battlefield and, the bomb goes off and he flies into the trench.
The trench, yeah.
In no way, shape, or form did I expect him to get shot in the forehead within 3 seconds.
I know. God,
And
I got so
my
pissed.
jaw was on the ground.
Yeah,
when that
that's
happened. And I'm like, what in the heck? And it seems like there's, at least in the other movie as well, there's that moment in these movies where it's like, what? It genuinely shocks you. And I don't know how he does it. And he sets it up perfectly to just completely, come out of left field for those types of things.
Well, he makes you care so much about this kid because you lose his mother at the very beginning of the movie, and the father's main goal is to protect him, and that's his job for the rest of his life. And then, you find out that he's basically under the protection of the king once he joins the military, and then he sneaks off and does his own thing. And even then, you think, well, he'll be fine because he's like the main character.
Well, and also he's trained.
Well,
he's like
you expect him to be the next one in the, the Secret Service type of deal.
Well, I mean, and he's extra trained, right? Like how convenient that the movie shows us that he's training with, now I want to call him Digimon because of Sam. But we see him do the knife training with him, right? And then he gets to World War I, and on his first day and his first, mission, he has to go into no man's land, and they have a knife fight with the Germans. Which what a cool scene! I don't know if that ever happened in real life, but
it makes sense though, right?
Made total sense. Yeah.
You don't want to make any noise because both sides will open fire on you. I mean, just brilliant.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, I was gonna say that scene where the English and the Germans saw each other, and they both had this sense of understanding and put their rifles down. And even the fighting itself, I thought the choreography was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing. Yeah. Matthew Vaughn definitely knows how to shoot a fight scene.
Absolutely.
The Rachmaninoff guy,
Rasputin.
Rasputin dancing on the tables, and it just, even you could see that as a style of fighting, and it's just brilliant. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Speaking of Rasputin, when they were shooting the 2 gunshots in the fight, how did none of the other Russian soldiers hear that? Like, how did they escape Russia? They're in the palace firing gunshots.
I'm sure they were like, it's coming from Rasputin's room. Who knows what's going on in there? He's in there licking thighs.
Yeah, there probably is some truth to that.
Yeah.
One last thing before I shut up about my stuff here. I really like how Vaughn is able to take history, and I know it's Hollywooded up, and it's of course not accurate. But he takes historical things and puts them into this film and uses them to tell the story. Mm-hmm. For instance, the 3 cousins who are all rulers, they weren't all cousins in real life. I mean, they were, but it was like not as close as they made it out to be in this movie.
They didn't they didn't look so close together that they could be portrayed by the same actor, which is what they did in this movie.
Right.
Which I thought was brilliant.
Actually, Kaiser Wilhelm, was that his name?
Mm-hmm.
And King George apparently, no, I'm sorry, I got that backwards. Tsar Nicholas and King George did look very similar.
They were
not that.
Yeah, but they were also very related. I mean, when I'm trying to think when the Tsar's family, when what of them left when they fled to France, they basically just maintained kind of royalty status almost within the British government kind of thing. So yeah, they were very, very related.
Yeah.
I know this is uncomfortable, but I want to go back to the leg scene.
Please, no, let's do.
He's got legs.
So,
and he knows how to use them.
I thought that he was faking, he being our hero, Oxford, was faking the leg injury just so that he can get a little bit of sympathy, or maybe he could be, underestimated. But then
have the sword.
Yeah, exactly. To have an excuse to have a sword with him at all times. Perfect. I thought that was what was happening. And
really?
And then when
you see him shot at the beginning.
I know we saw him shot, but just for some reason I thought, but but other shows have done that, right? Like the new Sherlock series, Watson is also shot, but his limp is psychosomatic, and eventually he gets over it. And I think that's because they didn't want to have this actor having to walk around with a cane all the time. But I think that I get that's what I was thinking in the moment. So then when Rasputin says take off your trousers and actually does heal him, I thought, wait, is this real? Is he actually healing him? Is he actually able to because by all accounts Rasputin was just this crazy dude that just had
He did weird things though.
Yeah.
I mean, there was definitely some mystic stuff that was happening with him.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he purposely ate the cake that he knew was poisoned. So I guess the bigger question is, why did he heal him if he knew he was just going to kill him and he was a spy?
Oh, I didn't pick up on that. I thought that I thought that he wanted to be legitimate, lovers with this man, and then and healed him, and then once he ate the cake and realized that it had said poison in it, it just horked it up. That caught me so off guard.
It was such a straight shot of vomit too. It was like, ugh!
Yeah, he very casually said it didn't agree with his stomach, and I was like, that's pretty gross.
Yeah. And then you find out that he takes poison just a little bit every day to build up an immunity, and I thought, wait, are we in Princess Bride land all of a sudden? Like, what just happened? There's a callback for you. There's a reference.
Right, nice. Inconceivable.
That was for you, Jesse. So anyway, that whole scene was weird, but the fight scene afterwards was kind of neat. I also like how their man gets poisoned. He gets stabbed with the cross poison thing, and they're like, he'll be fine. Just walk it off. And I thought, you don't know what he got hit with. Like, he was stabbed. He was saying like it could have been arsenic or whatever. Like he could be dying. He's fine. He'll walk it off. Like they just.
Well, we know that it's opium, but the They didn't know that.
Yeah.
You're right.
Just he's fine. Rub some dirt on it. All right. My 5-word review is, and I'm cheating because I'm taking technically 3 words and mashing them into one. So I guess technically it's a 6-word review. No. Whatever. I can't do math. A good World War I spy film.
Oh, WWI.
Yeah,
There you go.
WWI
That'll
is
work.
is one word.
Am I the only one that actually did the only 5 words?
I averaged mine out. I had a 4
My
and a 6.
thigh licking good time was
okay.
5.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Although if you count thigh licking as hyphenated, I guess it's 4.
which we don't.
You know what I did like was that they portrayed this film as pretty realistic with politicians, right? Like, yeah, all the czars were in charge of England, Germany, and Russia, and they were making these massive decisions that affected the whole world. But they were each, kind of being whispered in their ear by these negative influences that all had the same goals. And I was like, it's kind of like real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all had worm tongues.
Exactly.
Yeah. I also like that some of the history is really accurate, like how Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated. That was right. Someone threw a bomb, it missed.
Yeah.
He went back out, went down the wrong street, and got shot in the face. So I appreciate how that some of the history. Now, I don't think Matthew Vaughn likes America very much, because in the first movie he blows up with the little brain bombs. He kills President Obama. Again, we're talking about a movie, NSA. If you're listening, and I just kicked off some kind of computer, it's a movie. And then in this one, he has Woodrow Wilson committing adultery to keep America out of the war. I just don't think he likes America very much, or doesn't think very highly of our officials, our politicians, which
I can give him that.
It's fine. Woodrow Wilson is not exactly known as the great president or whatever, but I mean, he takes a lot of the blame for what happened at the Treaty of Versailles, which would lead to World War II and all the things. So there is that. But yeah, this movie did, for the most part, did pretty good with the history, I thought. And I enjoyed that. I really did. One of my favorite shots of the movie is showing the field as it's pristine, and then showing all the impact craters as war has come, and then the trenches being built. I thought that was so clever and so beautiful to show. Well, beautiful destruction, I guess. Yeah, it was great. Cool. Anything else before I get into clips? Anything else we really need to talk about?
No,
Sam,
except for the fact that we have to talk about the third act of this movie.
Okay, that's where I figured you wanted to go.
The scene on the plateau, or I don't even know what you would call that.
A mesa.
The mesa, yeah. In terms of, I love it when a plan goes wrong and they have to adapt.
Yeah.
Right? He steps on the wing and he falls through the wing and is trapped in his plane and has to figure out a way to get out of it. And then not only that, he misses the entire thing. Now, of course, nobody on this plateau hears a thing going on, planes flying around or anything like that. But I love the fact that he had to improvise and then climb up that stupid mountain where my stomach was just churning. And I'm fairly decent with heights. This is when you want to be a fly on Sean's wall while he's trying to watch one of these things and see what he does.
I'm not going to lie. It never bothered me.
It didn't bother you in this
Not
one?
1 second.
Why do you think that was? Why do you think that is?
I think because I know that he's fine.
Because it's a movie and he's a grown man, Sam.
Yeah. Now,
this is Sean we're talking about now.
We're going to talk about heights in movies later, and I will talk about a scene that always makes me kind of pucker up a little bit. But this didn't bother me at all. Because it was too humorous to be for peril, right? That goat. Yeah. Why in the F would that goat do that? That like walk between 2 walls down there just to lick him in the face? Just. I guess goats are weird. I don't know, but goats
are weird.
That was funny. That was.
Do you think because it was very CGI?
I don't know.
Do you think
the
that took you out of it a little bit too?
No, not really. Honestly,
No?
again, the goat was the part where I was like, okay, he's not in peril. He's fine. If the goat can do it, then surely the soldier can.
Then he'll be able to get through it. Okay.
But yeah, the third act. I mean, the fight up there was great. The the taking over of the elevator scene was really neat. It does. I will say this. It does make you wonder who built that thing up there. Did they have to build the elevator and then take up the wood one by one to get it up there?
I guess so.
It just seems so inefficient. As far as bad guy layers, I mean, it's pretty awesome. It reminded me of the castle from Red Notice, but yeah. What do you think, Justin? Is that a pretty good bad guy layer to have on top of a mountain like that?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I was thinking of was how did the bad guy, the main villain, survive the submarine attack? Because, I mean, it's not like he could get in the submarine after the ship was destroyed. Did he somehow deploy a life raft and make it in the open ocean?
They show that in the movie.
Did it?
Yeah, they show him getting into a little dinghy and going out towards the ship.
The U-boat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, I must have looked down at my phone and typed notes for that minute.
It happens.
Yeah, I would like to know how they got down then after the elevator was destroyed.
Climbed down where the goat did, I guess, right?
Which, speaking of which, thanks for bringing up that scene, because like the 5 minutes prior to that scene, I was just laughing because everything that could have gone wrong for him went wrong. He got stuck in the airplane, and then he cut himself loose, and he was hanging over the mountain with the parachute, and then it started to rip, and then he put his boot in the mountain, and the knife broke in his boot. And I was like, man, this guy can't catch a break.
Yeah, and then he gets to the top, and that goat freaking punches him in the nose. You know, you do kind of feel bad for him. Yeah, you're right there. Yeah, I liked the third act. I thought it was fun. It was probably the most, other than the Rasputin fight, it was probably the most fun.
Well, yeah, and I was going to say, a lot of times movies fall flat in the third act. That's where they have the hardest time, is just finishing it up.
Yeah.
And I think it's something about the Kingsmen that just goes to show that they do something right in these last parts.
I think the weakest part of this movie is probably the first act. And because that second act is when they're, fighting in the war, or, for the most part. So there's a lot of action. I would say that second act has less of the Kingsman feel to it.
Yeah.
It's more just a war story. But yeah, the third act is really where they turn it on and finish strong.
I will say this. So we're always kind of bragging or ripping on movies when we see the same stuff over and over again. This movie did something I've never seen before. So I know it's really popular to put cameras on things so you get the point of view of a thing, right? So like you'll put the camera on the gun of the soldier and see either the point of view of the gun or have the camera aimed back at the actor. Like Tom Cruise and Jack Reacher, where they put the little GoPro camera on the rifle he's about to shoot. So we get his point of view, or we're watching Tom Cruise. So they put cameras on the swords.
The swords. Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
That was so cool.
I'd never seen that before. So Vaughn gets some credit on that. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I really appreciate stuff like that. Yeah, okay. And my last note was I knew that goat would help. There you go. We did have
well, that was an eye roll for me though. When he was stabbed in the leg, I was like, it's kind of a cheesy way to go.
Yeah.
So,
but they set it up. Like this movie is nothing but set up and payoff, set up and payoff, set up and payoff. Like if you see it in the first act, you're going to see it in the third act, and it's just the rules that they do. Oh, he's learning how to use a knife, then there'll be a knife fight later. Oh, Digimon doesn't know how to fly a plane because the boy says he can't fly a plane. Well, then that's going to come up later. So that's constantly this movie. So oh, there's going to be a goat that headbutts people too often, then you know he's going to headbutt somebody at some point, and it's going to be a thing. So it's a little paint by numbers, but again, I still would have thought it would have been a little funnier. As he's leaning over, he's about to say some, "I am the future." He's getting ready to do this great monologue, and then he gets his ass kicked. He gets headbutted in the butt and just flies off. It would have been funnier.
Yeah.
Because I think most, definitely in the Kingsman, the first one, they joke about that, right? When Sam Jackson gets speared in the back, and the Eggsy is standing there over them, he goes, "What you got some final words to say?" And he goes, "This ain't that kind of movie, bruv." It's it's the same thing. So anyway, I know that the movie wanted him, I guess, for Ray Fiennes to kind of get his revenge for his son, or avenge his son, because technically it's that guy's fault that his son was there. So, one last thing, and then I'm going to play some clips. I think we were talking about we want to see the next movie to kind of see how things are going with the Kingsmen, because I'm with you, because right now, in my opinion, of the people at that table, 3 of them deserve to be there: Ray Fiennes, Gemma, and I need to figure out how to actually pronounce his name, Hansu. But I don't like Lancelot. What did he do to deserve to be there, other than took the place of his son?
And he just was there. He didn't do anything in the movie.
Do anything in the movie? Make him go on the mission and also be a sniper man or something.
Earn his spot. Earn his son's spot, basically, in the...
Exactly. Make him go on the final mission. Hey, well, since you're here, you're going to come with us because you're a soldier and soldiers follow orders. Okay. Just give him something to do so that when he's sitting at the table at the end of the movie, we get it. Oh, okay, he earned it. I honestly forgot why the bearded guy was there. I forgot who he was. Who was that?
That was the American ambassador. Stanley Tucci's character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait.
He also didn't do very much. I mean, he was just kind of there.
That wasn't actually Stanley Tucci, was it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Stanley Tucci is in this movie, and what?
Yeah, he's another big name.
Oh my gosh! How did I completely miss that? I can't find him. Are you lying to me? I feel like you're lying.
No, I'm not lying.
It's a conspiracy for the 3 of you that 2 of you just met. Yeah, Stanley Tucci, United States ambassador. That is so crazy. What are you doing in this movie, sir? Do more.
Well, again, they're probably setting up the second one.
They're setting up the sequel. I hope so, man. Stanley Tucci's great. He is the only good thing in that bad Transformers movie. He's the only good thing in that. Okay.
There's not much.
Justin, did you see those bad Transformers movies?
I think I didn't see one of them. It got pretty bad pretty fast, though, in that series.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah. He's in the 4th one, the first one with Mark Wahlberg, and he is nothing but comic relief. I mean, it feels one of those things where, Michael Bay said, "Hey, do you want to do a Transformer movie?" And he goes, "Really? I could go hang out with Meryl Streep and watch her get an Oscar." Yeah, but we're gonna pay you $12 million to be on set for 2 days. Yeah, okay. I got a boat payment. Why not? Anyway, we did have this. We had a montage, so I had to get that going. We had a cracking the code montage. Yeah. All right. Time for some clips. You guys ready for some clippy clips?
Let's do it.
All right. Time for some clips. Here we go. This was great.
Are you waiters or Englishmen? Whatever you are, get me a fucking drink.
Are you a monk or a ballet dancer? I see you've mastered the Berioska glide. Why don't you glide over there and get me a fucking drink?
Yeah, I love it. And for the fact that dude is Welsh, he does a really good Russian.
Yeah, I like that actor. He's in Little Nicky and The Replacements.
The Replacements, yeah.
Yeah, and he's awesome.
Yeah, he's the kicker. He's in the
He's smoking on the field.
He's smoking on the field, and they keep calling him I keep calling him a Mick, and he's like, I'm bloody Welsh. He's also our MCU connection. He's or not MCU, but he's our Marvel connection because he's the Lizard in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
The Spider-Man movie. Yeah, he's great. Bloody Welsh. Okay, time for this.
I only make decisions when my stomach is full or my balls are empty.
Well, thank God dinner is being served.
Yeah, they were really trying to sexualize Rasputin, and I just was like, why?
To make us uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yep. To get us ready for that leg scene for later is exactly the reason.
I guess.
He says,
just kind of just warming us up for that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, as soon as when he actually took his pants off, I thought, oh, we're going places.
We're going there.
No, okay.
Yeah. But you should know in a Kingsman movie, there's going to be over sexualization of something, right?
Yeah.
I guess, but they were like hinting that Rasputin had sex with young boys, which is why he was like kind of pimping his son out. He's like, hey, go in there with this Russian guy.
Yeah, which just, I mean, I'm going to protect you, my son, but go first have sex with this crazy old man. Yeah, you're not wrong. Okay. That's the last of Rasputin, unfortunately. Here's the guy that did nothing in this movie except deliver this line.
According to Conrad, I'm Lancelot. You're Merlin. And I'm requesting an audience with King Arthur.
Follow me, sir.
That's it. That's his whole purpose in this movie was to say that one line. He said it great. I liked his accent, which is one of the reasons why I recorded it, but I wish he did more.
All I got to say is I always go back to that Tom Hanks in Saving Private Ryan. You earn this, and I just don't feel like he's earned this yet. Right? It's like, yeah.
Before anyone that listening sends me a Twitter message, I know that what's his name? Daniel Bruhl is in this movie, and he is actually our MCU connection. He's Baron Zemo. I know. I was making reference to the other dude, but I know he's in this. So you can save your messages. You're
and
at
hate mail.
you're at me because somebody will at me. I'm sure they will. Probably. No, I know who it'll be, but that's fine.
Love it.
Yeah, it's fine. Let's see. What else? Time for
Polly, I do not accept your resignation. But I will accept a very strong cup of tea.
Yeah, that's kind of
very British.
It's kind of his not quite a Popeye moment, right? But it's kind of the get up off the floor moment.
Off the mat.
Yeah.
Is it bad that I said a sandwich before he said his line?
Yes.
Imagine if he said that though. I was like, please don't say that.
Oh dear Lord. Right.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. This is interesting. So this is going to sound like I'm calling out my wife, but I don't mean to.
Uh-oh.
But so we watch this together as we almost always do. And at the beginning of the movie, they're, at this camp, and he uses the words concentration camp. And that perked up my wife. She goes, "Wait a minute, what?" And I said, "Yeah, it was actually the British that invented the concentration camp." And she said, "I didn't know that." I said, "Yeah, it's one of the things they're super proud for." So, I don't know if a lot of people know that, but that's a thing. Like that was real. That Boer.
Who did they in camp I suppose.
It was the BOER war. I can't Boer. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Who were they fighting?
It was South Africans. South African War, also called the Boer War, or the Second Boer, or the Anglo-Boer. BOER.
Okay, so they enslaved the South Africans.
Yeah.
Not cool, Brandon.
Yeah, no, it was pretty bad. The war was fought from 1899 to 1902. Actually, it almost ended right, and this movie was taking place between Great Britain and the two Afrikaner republics, the Republic of South African Republic, and the Orange Free State, resulting in a British victory. Well, yeah, because although it was the largest and most costly war in which the British engaged between the Napoleonic Wars and World War I, so in between those times, it was fought wholly unequal. The British military strength was about 500,000 men, where the Boers could only muster about 88,000. I'm reading here. What I don't see is why. I don't know.
Was it just for territory? I mean, this was the end of what we would call the imperialism.
Yeah.
And I think maybe this was just for land.
So I know we're turning into a history podcast. Many historians stress that in reality the contest was for control over the that's a hard word to say, over the gold mining complex located in the SAR. It was the largest gold mining complex in the world at the time, when the world's monetary system, preeminently the British, were increasingly dependent upon gold. So they went to war over gold.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess back then you say, oh my gosh, really? Well, we've kind of gone over
oil.
Over oil. I mean, that's one of the main reasons why Japan attacked us, was because of oil. So, yeah. So again, we have British listeners, UK listeners. This is not me besmirching your history. We Americans here, we have a horrible history. So I'm just saying, we all have bad history. Kind of pretty much what it comes down to. We all have stuff. What's important is to learn from it and not do it again. Speaking,
when you're allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, well, there's that.
That's a different podcast, though.
That is a different podcast. You mean like, not banning books and things like that? Is that what you mean? Sorry. Going in a weird place. I apologize. Time for this one.
Manners maketh man.
Yeah. If you said it in the first two movies, you're going to have to put it in this one.
Yep.
So I appreciate that. Let's see. And last one.
So you'd jump in front of a bullet for me, but not out of an aeroplane.
So it would seem.
Yeah.
You blame him?
No, I don't. For me, I think I'd probably make the same choice. Not gonna lie. I think I'd probably make the same choice. I think a bullet to the shoulder sounds way better than jumping out of that airplane.
And now for some more bad news. Ready?
We are going to try something completely different tonight with our trivia segment. So instead of me just reading things to you, we're going to play a game. So here is the game. Andrew has found 5 bits of trivia, which he has turned into trivia questions. He is going to ask those questions to Sam and Justin.
Yep.
And they are going to play a game, and they're going to go back and forth, and whoever gets the most points after 5 questions wins. I think that's how we're going to do it. And right, Andrew?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You're sitting there with your in the evil pose. I'm just making sure.
Sorry.
Now, I asked you listeners.
That's just how I sit.
No, I asked people on Twitter to submit their requests to participate. So before the show, we did a random number generator, and tonight Sam is going to be playing for Jesse from the Sudden But Inevitable podcast.
So sorry, Jesse.
Jesse, sorry. Again, listeners, this was 100% random. The guys will verify it. Justin is going to be playing for the Anime Talk podcast. I don't know who's on that show. I apologize, but Justin's playing for the Anime Talk podcast. So, if they get I'll make a little noise. I'll find a ding or something to play if they get the answer right. And here we go. So, Andrew, the first question is to Justin.
All right. Well, actually, I have 2 sample questions just so we can kind of get the feel for this. They're pretty simple. And just so our listeners know, this came from the movie. All this are details from the movie that people may have missed. So, question number 1, you guys can, and Sean, you can play along with this one too if you just want to see how this is going to work. So, question number 1, the Kingsman tailor shop storefront is shown twice in the film. How many mannequins are in the window?
Oh, wow. Oh,
holy crap.
2.
3.
1.
Justin is correct. There are 3.
Okay.
There are 3. Doggone it.
And that's actually throughout the entire Kingsman series. Each movie,
there's always
they show the
3 in
storefront, and there's 3 in the window. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So sample question number 2. This is like those bubble tests that you have to take in high school. You got 2 sample questions. All right, so sample question number 2. On the train, after killing Rasputin, they celebrate Conrad's birthday. How many candles were on his cake?
Holy crap.
Well, it had to be 19.
Yes.
There was,
yeah.
Was it 19?
Yeah.
Yeah, 19. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of how this segment's going to work, right?
Okay.
So are we ready? We got 5 questions.
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
All right, so here we go. Going for real now. Including
wait. So do we chime in or do we just jump it to answer?
Let's let Justin go first, and then if he knows, then he'll get a point, and if he doesn't, then we'll go to you, and you can steal.
And I'll keep score.
Okay. All right, so question number 1, here we go. Including Emily and Orlando, how many people did the sniper shoot before being killed by Shola at the beginning of the movie?
How many did he kill?
Shoot. Not necessarily kill, but shoot.
In total, he got 4.
That is correct.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Thank you.
Right out of the gate.
I don't have a ding, so I'll play. Okay, there we go.
I was gonna say 6. So, yeah.
Nice.
Good job.
All right, question 2. King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table are British mythological figures from which the Kingsmen get their code names. What figure from Greek mythology is mentioned in this movie?
Holy crap. Is that to me, I guess?
Yeah.
Man, you give me a name question. Hermes. I don't know.
No, you're close.
No.
Hermaphrodite.
He had the wings.
Justin,
on his...
you have a guess?
Yeah.
Was it Galileo?
No, it's the dude what flew too close to the sun, Lazarus.
Oh,
right?
Icarus.
Oh, Icarus.
Icarus.
Yeah.
Icarus. Oh, damn. You're right.
Yeah.
All right. So for that one, Sam gets
That is one big pile of shit.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Question number 3. Upon entering the trenches, Conrad passes a skull wearing a German helmet. How many cigarettes are in the skull's mouth?
Dang.
Dude. I don't know. Was it 5?
No.
I'm gonna
Sam,
go with
you have
3.
a guess?
Yeah, I'll go with 3.
There were 4 in the mouth and 2 in the nose.
Oh.
All right. So no one gets it. So
Yeah.
there you go.
There we go. All right, question number 4. When in the Kingsman shop, as they were discussing the rare cashmere, a store clerk goes to the shelf to retrieve a book about cashmere. Beside that book was book 2 of cashmere, books 1 and 2 of wool, books 1 and 2 of silk. There are 3 other books visible. Name one of the 3 fabrics.
And that's to me.
Yeah.
Tartan.
No.
I have no idea. I have no idea what fabric. Justin, what you got?
I have no clue. I'm going to go with cotton.
No.
Oh.
So felt, flannel, and gabardine were all mentioned, or all printed on the books there.
Gabardine.
Wow.
Okay, here's your clip for that.
All right.
Not a great plan.
Okay, there you go.
All right. So this is for the
All right,
win
and
for Justin.
final-
no,
final question.
Justin actually has already won because Sam hasn't gotten any points.
Well-
So Justin technically
Well,
has
if
won.
he doesn't get this right, then I could tie at least, right?
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
technically.
could tie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tie. All right, so here we go. Last question. There are 4 rings shown on camera. One being worn is the shepherd's crook. The other 3 that are shown have animals on them. What are those animals?
He has to name all
One,
three.
one is a turtle.
Yeah.
Yes.
One is a bird.
No.
Nope, I don't know.
One was a bear, right?
Yes.
Well, the bear was never shown on camera. It was talked about,
but
it was never shown on camera.
Dang.
So, Sam, you have a guess?
Goat.
So the ones that were shown,
He's not even going to wait for any of the guesses.
no.
All right,
The
yeah,
ones
go
that
ahead.
were
Go ahead.
shown, was the tortoise by
Tortoise,
Rasputin. The dog that was worn by Daniel.
Radcliffe.
What's his last name? No, Baron Zemo. Right, had a dog on his ring that was shown on camera, and then the other one is kind of a trick question. It was actually a boar, which was on the ring of Orlando, the Kingsman ring, which is also worn by Eggsy in the original, and I mean Arthur in the original and Eggsy as well. And the movie.
Interesting.
So that's our little trivia game of Did You Notice?
Okay. Wow.
Nice.
That was
Wow.
fun. And
Holy crap.
we'll play.
Pay closer attention.
There you go. There's your music for that.
Is that the we're all gonna die train
What
song?
happens if the engine stops? We all freeze and die.
There you go. All right.
All right.
Nice.
So Justin, you won. You won our inaugural game
Nice.
of Did You Notice?
Awesome.
So you get nothing, but however, Anime Talk, Anime Talk will get a little prize pack that'll include some stickers of the for the show, as well as I guess I should say that this this game is sponsored in part by my wife's Color Street business. So you're gonna get some nail products in the bag, which is kind of neat. So if you have a lady, or if you're a dude that likes to have colorful nails, no problem. Check this stuff out. If you like this product, you can buy it from my wife, which would be awesome. And I'll also reach out, and I have some video game download codes to give out as well. So that's actually a legit prize pack. So maybe now people will want to participate, because obviously no one wants to participate in our movie Whose Line Is It game. So that game is now forever dead.
You blame it.
I mean, Justin, I'm trying to give away stickers and no one will do it. So we're going to do this instead. That was fun, Andrew. Thank you so much for doing that. I really enjoyed it because I didn't have to do anything. Okay.
I actually agree. I think that was fun.
Yeah.
That
No,
was nice.
but the best part is
Thank
that
you.
Andrew did all the work. So
Yeah, I made me realize that I'm not observing as closely as I thought I was.
So
Apparently. Wow.
future guests on the show, start counting the cigarettes in the skulls of dead things. That's what you need to start doing. That's what I learned from that. Okay. Time for this here.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Top 3. We're doing movies that have heights, where the scenes take place high up in the air, like you just don't care. So, Sam, I'm going to let you go first.
Oh wow. Okay. I might have 2 here that don't really count.
Okay.
So I'm going to call them both my honorable mentions, and that is from 2 documentaries. The first one being Man on Wire, which is about the guy that tightrope walked between the Twin Towers, and the other one being Free Solo.
Oh, sure.
With the guy freestyle climbing up the mountain. Incredible heights, incredible Makes me nervous every time watching those things.
I saw that. It was terrifying.
It's just the free solo where he has to jump from one thing to another. It just blows my mind that a human could literally let go of something to do that. But anyway, in my real movie, in my movie scenes, I've got my number 2 as The Lost World.
Okay. Over the cliff. Yeah.
Over the cliff and the window and it cracking and then it falling apart.
It was very effective. That movie had some issues, but that scene was very effective.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad that Toby Ziegler got eaten.
Yeah. And then, of course, my number 1, and I'm guessing this has got to be on a lot of our lists, and that is the Ghost Protocol, where Ethan Hunt is hanging off the building. And it's real, it's there, and it freaks me out every stinking time.
That's the
when
scene
that camera goes out that window. I mean, I'm getting chill bumps thinking about it right now. Good God. Jeez.
Yeah.
They did that very well.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's the scene I teased earlier. We talked about that's the scene that makes me pucker up every time. I can't do it because I know Tom Cruise is on a harness, and I know that camera operator is on a harness, but they still freaking did it. Oh my gosh, it's insane. Like even the next movie when he's stuck to the side of the plane, that one doesn't bother me as much. I don't know why.
I agree. Yeah,
I don't.
There's something about hanging off that building and. And maybe it's because you see the scope, right? You see the lines, you see how far the ground is below them, and there's nothing, right? It just, oof.
Yeah, and he has to trust this dumb technology glove thing that may or may not work. That's so good. Justin.
I chose Cliffhanger.
Oh,
yeah, Stallone.
Yeah, specifically the scene where in the beginning they're hanging off the wire and she's, her hand's slipping. Terrifying. Second was also Ghost Protocol, but before that was the newest Mission Impossible, where he's kind of like dangling off the helicopter because you already picked it.
Yeah,
and then Skyline with The Rock, where he's literally hanging off a building.
That's a good one. Yeah, no, that's good.
Nice.
I'll go next. I too had Ghost Protocol on my list, so I'm gonna switch it out for in the first Daniel Craig Bond movie. They're like jumping from those cranes.
Oh, the parkour stuff they were doing. Yeah,
that was
the crane to the conics.
Yeah, that was pretty effective for me. So that's be my number 3. My number 2 is actually going to be in the Kingsman, the first Kingsman, when they do the parachute jump. And they have to hold on to each other because they were told Merlin told them that one of their chutes doesn't work, and so when they're falling, that's a pretty good scene. That one gets me pretty good. And my number 1, and I was trying to think of a way I could tie it to Star Trek, but they're not usually. Well, okay, yeah, I can't believe I forgot this. Honorable mention: Star Trek. Captain Kirk in the 5th movie is free climbing El Capitan. And then Leonard Nimoy, Spock shows up with jet boots,
rocket boots.
Yeah. Wait, what? How do you know that?
I've seen that scene. Yeah.
Oh, the scene. Okay, I was saying you.
Yeah.
We've not done that movie for this podcast, so there's no reason why you would have seen that. But yeah, he shows up with the rocket boots, and then he falls, and Spock has to go catch him. It's a dumb scene. I can't wait to do that for this movie. I can't wait to do that movie for this podcast. Oh my gosh, it's a bad movie. And so that's gonna be my big honorable mention because I have to have a Star Trek connection. And then my number 1, I actually did Iron Man 3 when he has to catch all the people that got sucked out of Air Force One.
Yeah,
I like that scene a lot. It's a lot of fun. All right, time for this now.
Andrew. Wait, what's supposed to happen?
I did it. It's been a long time. I was so good. It's been. This is probably the first time this year I've forgotten Andrew. Andrew.
All right, number 3, I have the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where he has to cross the, to get the Ark.
Yeah, the leap of faith.
And he has to cross that. Watching it now, it's you can clearly tell he's walking on something. But as a kid, that really freaked me out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Number 2, this is for you, Sam. I have Jurassic Park: The Lost World, when the RV is dangling off of the cliff and they're sitting on the glass. And
that's what he was talking about. Isn't that the one you chose?
Yeah, the cliff one.
Yeah,
oh, you mentioned that. Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna switch that one out for the elevator shaft in Die Hard.
Oh yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Where he has to jump to the air duct.
Yep, I'm with you. The other scene that
And
gets
then-
me in Die Hard is when he's being pulled out of the window by the hose.
The hose. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of effective because there's nothing to stop him.
And then number 1, it's a movie we watched for the podcast called The Aeronauts.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah, she falls off. She faints and is hanging by her foot or something, right?
Yeah. 'Cause
Oh,
she has to go on top of the balloon to open up the thing so they don't go into space.
That one really bothered me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Have you seen that
Good
one, Justin?
call.
It kind of sounds familiar, but I haven't seen it.
It was at so remember back in the days of like 2018 before all of the streaming services produced their own movies. Aeronauts was one of the big kind of tent poles that Amazon produced. It might have been 2018. I can't remember 2018, 2019, but
19.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking at a picture of it now. She's climbing up a ladder on the outside of a balloon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks terrifying.
Yeah, because they're
Jones, Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. You should definitely, think about it for probably not the horror wheel show, but for something.
I don't know. It's got some aspects.
It's got some scary moments.
Let's say suspense. It's not
there's
really scary.
It's a fun thing. But yeah, that was back when we did it at the time, it was like, oh my gosh, we're doing a streaming movie. Like a movie made by a streaming service. And since then we've probably done 20.
Yeah. That's typically what our Friday episodes are because we do the newest movies and most of them come out on one of the streaming services or even movies that are coming out in theaters now or on HBO too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I'm also talking about how Netflix is, we watched Red Notice and we watched Extraction and we've done I can't think of anything else, but those are the two that come to mind. But
I loved Extraction.
Oh, Extraction's so good.
I've seen it probably 5 times, and they're making a second one.
Yeah,
it was great.
That second one will be. It'll definitely be on our list to the weekend it opens. We're doing it the next Wednesday. Absolutely. I love that one shot so much. It is so good. I hope the Russo brothers are involved in it like they were the first one. It's just such a fun time.
Yeah, choreography is insane.
It is just
it's a fight.
If you have a weak stomach when it comes to children, might want to avoid the first 10 minutes. But this movie's a dick to kids. Just saying. There you go. All right, now I can play this.
Wait, what's supposed to happen?
This is where we give this movie a score from 0 to 10. 0 being Birdemic and 10 being Return of the King. I think that's kind of where we are on our list of things. Andrew goes first.
Yeah. Like I said, it wasn't as great as the original, but I do think it was better than the Golden Circle, the second one. IMDb puts it at 6.4. I'm going to put it just a little bit above that. I'm going to say a 6.99.
Okay. Giggity. All right. Justin.
I'm going to go with a 7. I think it was good. Some slow scenes, but definitely better than the second one.
All right. I'm with you there. What did we do last week? I honestly forgot.
Free Guy.
Free Guy. I was so confused. I had on my list here what we did, what we were scheduled to do, and I thought, wait a minute, what? Okay, sorry. Sam.
Yes.
This is where you give me a number.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thoroughly enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun. It did what I like in these types of movies. It showed me something new. It was quirky. It threw some tropes on its face. It was a bit overly long, and the story was kind of up and down, so that took a little bit away from it. I'll give it a 7.2. 7.28 out of 10.
All right. 7.28. So you like this one just a smidge better than Free Guy.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was a broader story. I saw more new things in this than I did Free Guy.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I'm with you on the logic, but I gave Free Guy such a high score, I can't go higher than Free Guy because I really had a good time with Free Guy.
Yeah.
But I also really had a good time with this. I think this is a good movie, and I love this franchise, and I want more of it. I really do. I want Matthew Vaughn to direct them. I also want Matthew Vaughn somehow to get into the MCU. I know the X-Men, whatever. I want another weird, Squirrel Girl or something, right? Give me something like that.
It has to be action heavy, like gun fights.
Yeah. Give me I've just solved it. Because they're bringing back Disney has now reclaimed all of the Defenders characters, right? So the Defenders series is now on Disney Plus, and which is great. So let's get season 3 of The Punisher to be directed and produced by this guy.
Yeah, or Daredevil.
Or Daredevil season 4. Let him be the showrunner for Daredevil season 4. I would be down. I think it would. There's more gunplay in The Punisher. I think it would probably be more fitting of that. I haven't given my score yet. I'm going to give this a 7.5. I like this movie. I think it's good. I had a good time with it. That gives it a score of 7.1925. And I think that is okay. It is. It's an okay movie. It's not great. It's good. And that's... I would recommend it. Definitely recommend it to other people. So, other people out there... You should watch it. If you like, Rosie won't like this movie. It's a little too violent for Rosie, I think.
Too violent, yeah.
A little too sweary, but it's still good. So, Justin, please tell our listeners about your podcast.
Yeah, so it's The Wheel of Horror. You can find us at Twitter at Horror Wheel. And every Monday we do a horror movie that is randomly chosen by spinning a wheel. And then
That's cool. I like that. I like that idea. That's great.
I know, right? And then Friday is Fresh Film Friday, which is the newest movies in theaters or streaming. We try and set like a cap of like at most 3 months of it being released. And wheelofhorrorpodcast.com, our Instagram, Wheel of Horror, but most active on Twitter.
Awesome.
Very cool.
I have to say this. I'm scrolling through IMDb, just looking at the actors. I did not realize this, and this now makes total sense. This movie is 100% setting up a sequel because Stanley Tucci's in it. Aaron Taylor Johnson is Archie. He's the guy who said that I'm Lancelot. I'm here to talk to Arthur. That's the dude from Kick-Ass. That's Quicksilver from Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Like, I did not even at all realize that was him. So they have intentions of making more of these because you're going to because that dude can fight like the actor. I mean, we've seen him do things. So
now, that's who that is.
Yeah. Kick-Ass and other things. So I really, really want to see a sequel now. Matthew Vaughn, get on it. Seriously. Like, I don't know what you're doing. You don't have anything. He's doing.
This is all you should be working on.
He is producing a Flash Gordon remake.
He's an Outlaw King with Chris Pine. If you guys haven't seen that,
we
I highly
recommend
it.
We watched it.
That's a good one.
Yeah, we watched it. We did it for the show.
Oh.
Yeah, the advantage of doing 385 movies is that a lot of times when you ask us if we done the movie, the answer is yes. There's a reason why I usually give our listeners or our guests like 4 movies to choose from because it's just mean to make them go and look through our catalog. That's going to do it for our show. Our show, Cheapseat Reviews, is cheapseatreviews.libsyn.com is where you can go to our website, or you can do linktree/Cheapseat Reviews, and there you literally find links to everything, including our merchandise. Go buy stuff from us because that helps. It helps. It just helps, keep the lights on. But more importantly, the money that we're going to get from merch sales, we're going to use to buy merch to use as giveaways for our 400th episode. Guys, we are coming up rapidly on 400. I have no idea what we're going to do, but I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Also, as you listen to this, I am in week 2 now of my appearance on America's Next Top Podcaster. I am participating in a podcast reality competition, and it's stressful, and it's really been kind of fun so far. So I'm in week 2. When the show finally is aired, I'll make sure to share it out. So I'm very excited for that. In the meantime, go to those sites, check out our stuff, and just leave us a review, please, for the love of all things whatever. Just leave us a review either on Good Pods or iTunes, or you can't leave reviews on on Spotify, but you can leave stars. But leave us a review, write us something. It'd be nice. I'll read it on air. I'll read it and give you all the credit. So please do those things.
As long as it's appropriate.
It can't not be, I guess, if it's on Apple. So that's it. On behalf of Andrew, Justin, and Sam, this is Sean saying thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week. Oh, what are we doing next week? We're doing The Net. We are doing The Net. The Net. Sandra Bullock, The Net. All right. I'm out. Good night.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.